Hello everybody, my name is Charlotte and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I am here today to do a more chilled video because it's my first week back at moving into uni and I just kind of want to do a chilled, relaxed video where I'm not having to like stress too much about it. Even though this is the only week I feel like I'm not going to be stressed in general because of uni. I am going to be doing, technically most people do this before they actually move to uni, but I'm going to be doing like a books I've taken with me to uni rather than I'm taking. I have a lot. Usually like last year I didn't because I planned what I was going to read basically for like 3 months straight, which was not good. Like looking back on it was just not the best thing to do because then I just felt like I can never read what I wanted to read in the moment. So now I have got basically all my physical TBR with me, which seems excessive, but at the end of the day my physical TBR isn't as big as some people's. It's only about like 30 books long. To non-readers that probably sounds excessive, but obviously for a lot of readers, and I think it's quite an average. You can see here a massive box of books here that have got majority of my books here. I've got a couple of other stacks that I kind of are just like a bit special and I kind of just want to go over those first. So I've also got books that I brought here with me that I need to read for one of my modules. I'll go into depth about that in a sec. Also, before I jump into telling you all about these books, I'm not going to obviously go into depth about what these books are about, otherwise we'll be here forever and I'll be taking ages to edit this video, which is not my goal. So the first book that I have is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan by Jessica Townsend. This is the second book in the Nevermore series. I'm also currently reading Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. On my kind of bedside table I have one other book that's there that I'm kind of like hoping to read next, and that is Heartstopper Volume 2, because I don't need to go into depth about why I want to read this next because I haven't read it and I don't need to go into depth. We all should know why. I also have a couple of other books on my bedside table that are just kind of rereads that I brought with me to kind of, if I get into a reading slump, are there if I need them, and that is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, because I just haven't reread this series or read this series in general since I first read it like years ago, so I really want to like reread this series. So I brought this just in case, you know, I need to get out of a reading slump. This is probably a good option to go for. And I also have To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han, because I said this in one of my reading vlogs that I want to reread this so then I can rewatch the film, because I haven't done it where I watched the film straight after reading the book, because I haven't actually reread the book, and then obviously next year or beginning of next year I will reread the second book in time for the second film to come out. I'm now going to talk about all the books that I've brought here with me that I need to read for one of my modules. One of my modules I'm doing this term is called Film and Television Adaptations. So basically I don't obviously know exactly what the module is going to entail and what exactly we're going to be learning about, but each week we are given like a different book that we need to read in time or kind of for the film or the adaptation that we are going to be watching. So obviously from the books you can kind of guess what films and kind of TV shows that I'll be watching. So the first one which I'm currently reading is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and I've put this in order of the ones I have to read, so I thought that'd be quite cool. I've also got The Birds by Daphne du Maurier. This is a teeny tiny little book because it's a short story. I don't know if I actually was meant to get The Birds and Other Stories, but I just got the short story The Birds because I know that's the film that we're watching that week, so it makes sense that I just got The Birds. I've also got The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I've watched this TV series before and absolutely love it, so I'm super excited to watch more of it or watch it again. I've got Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Never read it, always wanted to read it, always been intimidated by it. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, once again another classic that I've never read. Ash by Melinda Lowe, which is a Cinderella retelling. I think it's a queer Cinderella retelling, so I don't think I've heard great things about this book, but it's still a queer retelling, so I'm here. Let the Right One In by John, and I've never been able to pronounce the last name. Is John Ajavide Lindqvist. I think he might be like German or some sort of like Scandinavian. This is the more recent movie adaptation cover, but we're not watching this movie, we're watching the original one from the 70s. I've got Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. Yeah. This is a graphic novel comic memoir about a woman's life in Iran, and I'm really excited to read this because I just heard that concept and I thought this is really cool. Really like the art style and it'll be really quick to read because it's, you know, a webcomic, graphic novel, whatever. And the last one is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Don't need to explain this one really. Always wanted to read it, and maybe now I've read this, once I've read this one I might want to read the Testaments, but it depends on if I like this book in general. Okay, now we're gonna do, oh my god, okay, now we're gonna move on to all the books in here. This is going to be annoying to go through because I'm basically taking everything out and then having to put it all back in, but it's not like that complicated, it's just a box of books. So I'm just going to grab them, show you, that's really all it's going to be, nothing really much else. I'm just going to say the name of the book and that's it. I'm not going to say, literally not going to say anything else. The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I just want to say something really quickly about this. I have basically unhauled all of my unread books by Rainbow Rowell, because if you know all the kind of stuff that's around about Rainbow Rowell, I don't really feel right. I don't feel like I really want to read her books anymore. I have read Carry On, so this is why I'm keeping Fangirl. I want to read Fangirl. It's just to kind of read it to kind of, because obviously I read Carry On before I read this one. I want to read this one just to see how it is and kind of for it to connect to Carry On. Once I've read this, I will decide whether I keep this and Carry On, and also if I want to read Wayward Son, but I doubt I will. I don't want to go into depth about it. I just don't really feel good with keeping her books and reading her books. I got this in a charity shop, so it's not like I paid full price. The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe. It's translated by Lilith Zelklin-Thwaites. Sorry if I'm butchering all the names. What do we expect? We're booktubers. We butcher names all the time. The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith or J.K. Rowling. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. Unite Me, which is the kind of bind up of Destroy Me and Fracture Me by Dahala Mathi. Solace by Gail Carriger. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. The Girls by Emma Klein. Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I bought this in a charity shop just because I want to reread it for the nostalgia and to critique it to see if it's actually good. I doubt it will be, but I think this will be very exciting to reread. Kingscade by Victoria Aveyard. This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales. How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. It's V.E. Schwab. It's V.E. Schwab. More Than This by Patrick Ness. Moxie by Jonathan Mathieu. Is it Mathieu or Matthew? I'm not sure. Once again, pronouncing things wrong. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. The Tattooers of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. Zenith by Sasha Ahlberg and Lindsay Cummings. Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. And the final one is Magnus Chase and the Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. So as you can see, these are all the books, or those ones in these box are all the books that I just in general are on my physical TBR. Welcome to my physical TBR. But those are all the books that I brought with me to uni, and that's really it. It's not really a complicated video to go through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, it was a very chilled, relaxed video, very much just here are the books, boom, 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 done. I still hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and all that stuff. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know any of your thoughts about these books. It'd be great to know. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.